Hey everybody, I am back for week 2 of handling stress during great upheaval. Maybe I should have made the title a little shorter, it's kind of long. We'll be talking about the second part, what are the causes of your stress. Part 2, we're talking about what are the causes of your stress, and I'm sure a bunch of them are coming to your mind already. What are all the things that stress me out in my life, right? So all the things that you kind of wish weren't going on at the time. The first thing that kind of came to my mind was, kind of the obvious thing that's going on right now, and that's things like being unhappy in your job. I know for me that was something that at different times in my life I have struggled with off and on. Sometimes just, for a day or two or for a moment. And sometimes it's felt like it's dragged on for longer periods of time, just depending on the job I was in, if I felt like, I was being appreciated, if my skills were being utilized properly, or if I was in a job that really wasn't appropriate for my skill set, that I didn't feel like honored who I am and my gifts that I have to share with the world. And there are a lot of things that can contribute to your feeling happy in the job that you're doing or not. Another thing that I thought of was working under dangerous conditions. Some jobs are very dangerous, and that can create a lot of stress. Even if it's stress that you feel like maybe you enjoy, it still creates the chemical reaction of stress and strain in the body. And so these are things that we need to be aware of and pay attention to, and take the appropriate actions to make sure that we are maintaining our body, mind, spirit in a corrective state to help balance out all the stress that's going on. Also, there are things like being insecure about your chance for advancement or the risk of termination of a job, and all the other things that go along with that, affecting being able to buy food, to pay for your housing. Your kids' shoes are wearing out, and the car, the gas tank is running on empty, and the tires are going bald, and the windshield wipers are old, and all the little things that happen. And then there's also fear and uncertainty that I thought of. There's a lot of that going on right now. You see a lot of it on social media. I mean, it's been so refreshing seeing everyone's posts about being thankful for change online, and in contrast to all of the the backlashes, the name calling, the posts about this is true or that's not true, and the confusion of not knowing, who to listen to, who to believe, who's right, who's wrong, the fear of listening to the wrong person, thinking they're right. You turn on the news, you turn on the TV, and all the time, you're either hearing about the threat of terrorist attacks, global warming, toxic chemicals on the news, the political issues that are going on. These are all things, whether they're true or not, that are being pushed on us all the time. You know, it's not healthy to be dwelling on those things, and you know, I think the media could do a better job at talking about actual truth, and not aggrandizing things and trying to get ratings, trying to compete with, you know, social media channels and cat videos, and, you know, trying to get more likes and more shares and everything like that. People in authority have a responsibility. And we also have a responsibility. We can choose to listen and watch these things that are disruptive. And hey, Janet, good to see you. You know, and these are things that we have a responsibility too, that we can turn the news off on the TV sometimes, and we can walk away from some of these things sometimes, and take a break from them and do things that fill our bucket. Janet's question is, how do you handle the stress of financially helping other family members when you have your own needs? And thank you for that question, Janet. That's a big one, I think, for a lot of people right now. You've got family members moving in with each other, and people taking care of loved ones that have health conditions, and a lot of different things going on. And when the money's got to go a lot of places, you know, it's a challenge to do that balancing act in a way that fills your bucket too. Because I think that's so important. I watched my own mother sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice pretty much our whole lives, and she never did anything for herself. And that was something that was really hard for me to watch. You know, and there were a couple times that she did, you know, she signed up for an aerobics class. I remember she just thought that was going to be the coolest thing, and she went out and she got some little exercise clothes and, you know, the little gear that she needed, and she went down and she was just hanging out with the ladies. I think she only went like once a week or something, and she went for a whole month. And I know not just myself, but my dad, my other siblings, we all noticed a huge difference in her. And you know, it lifted our spirits to see that she was doing something for herself, to take care of herself. It brought us joy, and it lessened our stress. And I was really sad when she decided to quit doing it. I mean, I don't know, maybe I jinxed it because I told her, hey, you know, if we need to go with one less pair of jeans for school or something, you know, we are willing to do that. To see you doing something that is healthy for you, that makes you happy, that brings you joy, and lowers your stress levels. And I think it's easy, especially when we grow up with that example around us of just give, 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 give all the time, to forget about taking care of ourselves, to forget about taking the time to do something for ourselves. And sometimes we just have to say, no, I can't help anymore. And that's hard to say, and it's really hard to do, especially if you have had that conditioning to just feel like you have to save everybody. But that's, you know, that's not our job, to save everybody. It's my job to save me. It's your job to save you. And we help each other, yes. But a really good friend of mine named Patricia, she told me one time, because I was kind of stuck in that habit of giving all the time, and not taking time for myself and not giving back to myself. And she told me, you need to think of this like a basket of eggs. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, basket of eggs. I know where she's going to go with this. And she's like, now wait, just hear me out, because she knew what I was thinking, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. She said, every time somebody does something nice for you, every time somebody gives you something or does an act of service for you, that's an egg that you put in your basket. And this basket, we receive into this basket and we give to others from the basket. And I'm thinking, yeah, as long as I have eggs, I'm going to be passing those out as fast as I can, left and right, to everybody. But she told me, no, that's not what you do. She said, the basket needs to be full. And that needs to be full for you. And you don't give anything to anybody else that's in the basket. What's yours to give to others is what is flowing over the top of that basket. Because if your basket is being depleted, there's nothing to sustain you, there's nothing to keep you going. And how can you do that? How can you be there 100% if your own basket is not 100%? And it really struck me as I thought about that, because I really had to change my paradigm of how I thought about the eggs in my basket. I was like, man, if I have one egg, that means I still have an egg to give away. And I really struggled for a while with the concept of trying to wait until my basket was full and then giving to others of what was flowing over the top. But as I found as I did that when I would give, when my basket was full, that I felt better, I felt stronger, because people will always take the eggs from your basket, and they don't care. They don't care if you give them the eggs from your basket. Sure, they like them. Everyone likes eggs, right? But people don't care about the eggs as much as we think they care about the eggs. And so if we care more about the eggs and having some for ourselves, I think that can be a way of thinking of handling the stress of financially helping other family members. Because we're not the only people that can help them, and they can help themselves. And I had situations put in my life to test me with this. Being the oldest in my family, I always felt like, I always have to help my siblings, I always have to help my dad, I always have to, help everybody. And I found that as I stepped back and let people handle some of the things that they needed to do, they stepped up on their own and things happened and their needs were met. And it made me realize that I didn't have to go in and save everybody all the time. And just made me realize I should turn this music off maybe so it's not so distracting. But it made me realize that it's not my job to jump in and rescue everyone. It's not my job to jump in and save everybody. I don't know. Does that help at all, give me a thumbs up or some hearts or something if you feel like that's, or if that's not the direction, your question was hoping to go, put another comment in, Janet, and just kind of give me a little feedback there in the comments section. Or if you have another question about that, let me know. Or if anybody else has logged on to this live, say hi in the comments, and give Janet a like or a thumbs up if that answer helped you too. Or if you have another question, feel free to post it in the comments, and I'll try to answer those as well. So, I mean, and that's what I would do. Figure out, what do you need to meet your needs first. Because it's just like in the airplane. Before you take off, and they go through, and they're talking about, how to use the oxygen mask and where all the exits are and things like that. One of the first things they tell you is, if the cabin air is decompressing, that mask is going to drop down, and make sure to put your own mask on first. Even if you have small children, don't put theirs on first, put yours on first, because you can't help them if you pass out before you get their mask on. So, putting your own mask on first is kind of the same thing. And sometimes I think too, rather than financially helping, sometimes being there as a teacher and a sounding board can be very helpful for our family members that are in financial need. Helping them come up with ideas, and brainstorming things that they can do to meet those needs. I'm concerned that as things progress along with things that are going on, things may get worse, and this will be a sadly increasingly popular question. I'm going to just talk about some things that maybe can help with dealing with the stress, aside from making the choice to help financially or not. I mean, no one can make that decision but you. But I think the egg analogy with the basket and the oxygen mask in the airplane are really good analogies for this kind of situation. But for helping yourself, just dealing with the stress, I would recommend some self-help techniques. There's deep breathing exercises that you can do, and that will help lower your cortisol levels. Also, going for a walk is a huge stress reliever. It's not hard on your joints. Okay, here we go. And yeah, good analogy about the basket. You're right. Sometimes we need to step back to allow people to step forward to help themselves. I'm gonna try that. Yeah, it's I just got goosebumps reading what you wrote there. It's scary to trust people enough to trust that they have the ability to do that for themselves. We know our kids are capable. We know other family members are capable, but do we really trust them? And I think that is one of the biggest gifts that you can give someone, is trusting them to exercise the skills and the talents that you have spent time teaching them, and instilling in them values and dedication and things like that. And it's scary. I'd say talk to a friend, and get some of that off your chest. You don't want to talk to your family members about that. That that are in need of that help, or counselor or something, can be helpful as well. Also, going for a walk can help relieve some of the fear and anxiety that you have while you're watching them work through the struggle of being independent and self-sufficient. That's, I personally have had to do that, and I was terrified. I was just terrified, hoping it would work, but worried what if it didn't, and then they'd be upset with me or whatever because I didn't help them. But I think even God does that for us. He yeah he trusts us enough to try to make good decisions and good choices, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we make bad choices, and we mess up, and it hurts. We fall down, maybe we cry, and we get back up and say, wow, okay, I'm going to be more careful next time, or I'm not going to do that again. So that is a wonderful question, Janet. Thank you so much for asking that. I think a lot of people are struggling with that right now. And so, yeah, going for walks, talking to a friend, deep breathing, eating healthy definitely is going to help with the stress. We talked about some of those things during part 1, the 10 things that 10 things that you can do. I think I have them right here. Yeah, eating a healthy, balanced diet, limiting caffeine and alcohol consumption, getting enough sleep and regular sleep, which I've not been so good on that this last week, trying to figure out all the stuff to do for these Facebook Lives and the posts and things like that. So I got to get back on doing that. Getting regular exercise, meditation, getting regular therapeutic massage, scheduling time for hobbies and fun, and don't feel guilty about taking that time for yourself to have some fun, because that is an important essential need to do that the body has, and that the mind has, and it can be things that cost money. It can be things that don't cost anything. It's up to you what you do, and what your budget allows, and all of that. But there are a lot of things that you can do for fun, and keeping a diary of your feelings, practicing deep breathing, recognizing the factors that trigger your stress, and then talking to a friend. And so those are some things I would recommend for for yourself as you are navigating that new territory. So let's see. And anyone else that has more questions, say hi when you hop on the live, where you're from, and post any questions that you have about stress, about relaxation, anything that you want to talk about. If you have any other questions, Janet, feel free to put them in there. Oh, and also, disasters are things that can cause stress, natural disasters, and those things are pretty rare that happen. But the way the news covers it, you would think it happens all the time, everywhere. and everyone died, everyone got sick, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's good media to be running that stuff all the time. Um, I don't know. But let's see. Also, major life changes can be very stressful. And, I thought about making up a huge list of all the different things that can happen, like uh, marriages and deaths in the family, and starting school, or graduating, getting a new job, losing a job, and there's just like a million things that can kind of throw you off, changes in life, things that you weren't expecting to happen, and sometimes they can be really shocking to the system. Even even things that some people might consider as, oh yeah, no, that's not that big of a deal or whatever. But sometimes for the body it is a big deal. It's a really big deal. So um, even happy life changes can be stressful. I mean, weddings. I mean, most people think of those as pretty happy occasions, pretty happy things to be glad for and about. But even that can be stressful to the body, because it entails a whole lot of new things to get used to. I think it's harder as members of the church. Sometimes I feel we're supposed to help others financially when we can before they seek help from their bishop. But is there an end to it? If you want to talk about this for later, I'm okay with that. No, we can talk about it now. Um, yeah, and I can understand that. Um, it's I've been on both sides of that fence, being helped, helping people, and being in the church, helping people that their family members either couldn't help them, didn't want to help them, or they just weren't able to. Um, and it can be hard to know, like, when you're helping too much. I think it's so important to be in tune, and that falls back on personal revelation, things like that. But if you're in tune with that, there have been times when I have felt like, yeah, definitely don't sign up to help, or do help this person. And sometimes I think it's kind of our choice, um, as part of the Lord's kingdom. He blesses those financially with extra resources to help build up the kingdom, to spread the gospel, and to bless the lives of others. And sometimes people do need some financial help, because they absolutely are in a situation, um, a condition that they cannot help themselves. There's no way that they can even do it. But then you also have to consider the line of, okay, well, the whole teaching a man to fish, or giving a man a fish. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And so, I've also had the opportunity to start helping someone that couldn't help themselves at first. And then they started to become reliant on and dependent on, and even felt entitled that everyone should just give them stuff and do everything for them. And, I was helping this person at first, and then I began to recognize that they began enjoying that all these things were being given to them, and they had become capable, and but they didn't want to be. And so, I felt like I needed to withdraw my help from that person, and I did. And they kind of asked me like why I wasn't, helping them with stuff all the time anymore. And I just told them, yeah, I think you can do this yourself now, you know. And that's kind of hard too, because nobody wants to be taken advantage of. So, I think making it a matter of prayer definitely, from a spiritual aspect, is very important. We are brothers and sisters, and I think just really trying to point the people that need help in the direction as quickly as possible of self-sufficiency and independence, because I think there are a lot of people, not everyone of course, but I think there are a lot of people that sadly take advantage of certain systems that are intended to help people that are in a situation that they cannot help themselves. And I'm sad to say I know people that have intentionally not even looked for work, not tried to get jobs, because it's easier, they can make more money just filing for unemployment than to go out there and get a job. Or it breaks my heart when I hear about that, because that's not how we're supposed to be. That's not what we're supposed to do, because it's taking advantage of other people, and it's not fair. So yeah, but I think too, sometimes there are people that are blessed with extra finances that they could do more to help. And the love of money, as they say, can be not such a good thing, because there's never enough of it, right? You can never stop wanting to have more and more and more, and you lose sight of the reason why God has blessed you with the extra resources. But God's been very clear about that, and that what his desires are, for us to do with our resources and our gifts, our skills, our talents, to bless the lives of those around us. And yeah. I mean, even the bishop, he can only help so much too, right? So also being bullied can be a big stress for people. And with social media, it seems like it's so easy for people to be mean and to bully people, because you're hiding behind what you think is the anonymity of your computer screen. You're hiding in your little secret room, and you don't think anybody knows who you are, but people do, and things you do have consequences. Even there are people out there, trolls out there, that they intentionally go around looking for people to just be mean to. And you just do it for fun, like a hobby or something. But even though you might enjoy causing damage or harm to somebody else, you're doing the most damage and harm to yourself, because you're creating acidity in your body, And, and that's damaging your organs. It damages your brain cells. It damages all kinds of things. And it just makes you more angry and more bitter. And so, you know, things like that. The bully really is the one being hurt even more than the people that they're bullying. And, but then there are a lot of different ways, you confront the bully. Everyone stands up to the bully, and then they lose their power, or their perception of power. Usually, bullying comes out of a place of extreme weakness. And so, pray for your enemies, for those that despitefully use you, because them displaying signs of bullying, they're really shouting out to you, I'm extremely damaged and broken inside, and I need help, And so the bigger and the louder the bully, the bigger and the louder the damage, the bigger and louder the pain that they're carrying around inside of them, that they don't want to deal with it, or they don't know how to deal with it. And so, it's like, throwing spaghetti noodles on the wall, just throwing and seeing what will stick, and, hoping somebody will help them. But also family problems and relationship difficulties. I mean, I was just on the phone last night talking to someone, and man, they just had the worst thing happen with their family, and it broke my heart for them. I was sad for the person that decided to cause the drama, and sad for the broken relationship that probably will never be healed during this lifetime. But also sad for the person and their family that that the damage was done to directly, and the fallout, and the difficulty of recovery for them and their family from that. And I just hope that they will be able to get back on their feet, after everything that happened. And families can be the best place for us to learn, and the most painful sometimes. But I think that's one of the reasons why we have families. So, busy schedule, finances, that was one of the things which we kind of, thanks to Janet's question earlier, we kind of covered finances a little bit. Busy schedule. I think this is something that our culture over glorifies, and it's not to our benefit. Everyone's so busy running around, bragging, my kid's in like 5 different sports, and doing this and doing that, and and I'm just thinking, I know you want me to be impressed by you telling me all that stuff, but I feel bad for the kids, because when are they supposed to have downtime? When are they supposed to relax? When do they have time to just be creative and just get to be a kid and whatnot? So I think and I used to get caught up in that too, and the lesson was brought my way to unencumber myself, and I thought I knew what that meant. And so I started decluttering my house and my office, and trying to think, like, what stuff can I get rid of? And then I realized, oh no, okay, this is about my time. This is about what I'm doing with my time, and how I'm spending it and not spending it, you know, because I just thought, oh, the busier I am, the more good I'm doing and the more I'm helping people. But, I had to kind of learn the hard way that no, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes you help people more by not doing so much. You know, you'll be more relaxed, you'll be more available if somebody actually does need service and does need help with something. If somebody does need a ride to an appointment, who's going to help them? The person that's got like 500 things in their schedule? No, they're not going to be able to help, you know. I think it goes back to, if the Lord's blessed us with a lot of extra finances, are we being good stewards? Are we using the money that we were given wisely? Are we also using our time wisely? And yeah, you're welcome, Janet. And that can be hard to let go of. It's addicting to just cram your schedule full of stuff. It makes you feel like you're worthy, you're loved, you're more important or something if you're more busy, but it's really not true. It's a false perception. And so, but you have to be able to be brave enough to take the step back, away, and just kind of find out, who you are and what you have more time for if you make more time for time. And once I started doing that, and I'm still working on it. I know I still have a ways to go on that, but I've had so much more peace in my life, cutting a lot more things out of my life. I remember one time I had my schedule book open, and I remember this one girl was like looking at it and she's all sneering, like, my schedule book wasn't full of jam-packed 100,000 things jammed into a day, and I felt really bad for her because I thought she doesn't understand the importance of space in your schedule. She doesn't understand the concept of time, and this was a person that has extreme anxiety issues and just is not at peace with themselves or their life at all. And I didn't say anything to her, but I just thought, you go ahead and laugh at the schedule and the spaces and time that I have in my day. That is an intentional scheduling, but oh goodness, I love it. I love it having that time, that space, because when something really truly important comes up and a true need needs to be met, there's not a lot of people that people can call on for help if everyone's schedule's full all the time. We're not meant to run that way. Our bodies can't handle that. And that's why part of the reason why you're seeing so many health issues, and there are all kinds of studies that have been done that stress is a direct correlation with all kinds of health issues. So, I mean, maybe one of these days I'll go into them, but actually I have some posts on Facebook even. You can go through and look at some of my, what are they? Like Modality Monday posts. And I talk about, some of the different things. I might have written a blog article about it. I'll have to go back and double check. But yeah, there's almost everything goes back to stress. So, and then finances, of course. I hope in the future to be doing some courses on finances, just things that I have learned along the way, things I've studied from the time that I was in my teenage years all through my life, and things that I've applied that, you know, have been very beneficial to me and that have helped me to be able to make ends meet. And let's see. Oh, also, this is probably a big one for a lot of people right now. Paying off credit cards, you know. That's a big one. Like, don't be living off your credit card. Just don't do it, you know. You can't afford to do that. There are other things you can do. There are other ways to take care of some of those things, but that's just a very bad habit to just live off a credit card, you know. And also, you know, retiring can be very stressful too. You know, you've got change of life, you know, and also your kids moving out of your house. You become an empty nester. I don't remember hearing anyone really talk about how devastating it is to become an empty nester. You know, I felt like I wanted to die when my kids were all out of the house. I just thought, man, who am I now, you know? And I think it's similar when you retire too. It's, you know, you don't have that job. You have to be punching the clock, and you have to be there like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or whatever. And you know, you have to kind of redefine like how you're going to use your time and your role in life and who you are to your family and to yourself. And so any other comments from anyone about things that cause you stress or questions? We've got just a few more minutes here before our hour is up. Or if you also have any topics that you would like me to talk about or cover, you know, you can put those in the comment box. You can direct message me or private message me, and you know, on the Facebook page there, and just let me know, and I will try to do some topics on those things as well. Today is part 2 of handling stress during great upheaval, which is what are the causes of stress, part 1. You can watch that if you didn't see part 1 yet. That's up on there. And so there's a couple of different things that we'll still be covering in the next 3 weeks. This is a 5-part series. When I was putting this together, I thought it was just going to be like a one topic, one day kind of thing. But as I was going along, I realized, oh no, this is going to have to be a 5-part series to kind of get through all this stuff and answer questions and things like that. So Janet, I really appreciate your questions today, and that helped a lot. If this video's helped you at all, please like and share this video with your friends, and invite them to attend the next week's live office hour. And we'll be talking about handling stress during great upheaval today. Just have a little bit more relaxing music to kind of contemplate and think about how, even though we have these things that are causing us stress, that they don't have to be as stressful. So, thanks for joining us today. And we'll see you next week too.